watching when I'm choosing points or treating a treatment strategy, how am I getting there? Am I using meridians? Am I doing what? And that's a really important question to answer. So a fast answer is this, is first of all, I want to be clear on what I'm trying to do. It doesn't matter channel, it doesn't matter organ. Am I building up excitement in the body? Am I increasing yang? Now yang, if you watch enough seminars, yang movement, yang warmth, yang excitement, yang awakeness. There's a lot of different aspects of yang, but I gotta be clear. Am I building up or am I draining out, right? Supporting the upright, yin or yang, different aspects of yin or yang, or am I draining down? That's the most important thing. The rest is completely irrelevant. Once I'm clear on that fundamental concept, helping yin, helping yang, or getting rid of something so yin and yang are able to rest and recover, right? Once I have that, then I have to look what's in my way. And the Sanjiao is the place to start. Not the channel, but is there a block along this line that's keeping communication to the head happening, entry-exit in our world? Is there a block across the diaphragm line that is causing an entry-exit issue? So there's a buildup or there's something else. So am I looking at that? Or is there a block down here? Okay. If it doesn't matter if I put a needle in the correct channel and I try and do this, if there are fundamental blocks in the body, in this line, in this line, or in this line, then how could I expect my needle distally to do much? All right? Either it doesn't do anything or I have to just go so crazy at it. And even then, it's not going to work. Right? So first, I'm clear about yin and yang. Second, I'm clear about, are there roadblocks to flow? Fix the roadblocks. All right? Third, do I need to be proximal or distal? And in the tangible acupuncture internal medicine, I think it's module 3. It's either 2 or 3, but I'm pretty sure it's 3. I talk about how the qi needling further out or further into the body until you have to go out to the extremities and versa vice. So I've answered that question before, but fundamentally is if I'm needling distally and the person doesn't have a lot of qi, how on earth do I think a person of low qi is going to have their tides, like the ocean, fixed from a faraway point when the pulse is unbelievably deep? It's not reasonable for me to do that and try and get 6 out of 10 people better. Occasionally, I get someone better, but if I get 2 people better and I think, what a great protocol, and I do that for all my patients, I'm failing 8 every time I got 2 better. And the Neijing is clear, 6 out of 10 is when we get to have a conversation, right? So I have to make a decision. Is there enough qi? And the less qi there is in their upright, the closer I have to be to them. The more the irritant is bothering them and things are going, the further away I have to be. Because if I'm in the midst of the chaos and I'm putting a needle in the chaos, they're not going to hear that needle, but they'll hear something distal. I can drain or pull. Then I look at zones, and that's definitely module 3 of tangible acupuncture internal. And that is basically the liu shi liu xue, or the antique points. So if you go to the beginning of Deadman, he lists the hesi, etc. And the key to those points is there's no mention of a channel. It's an area. All of the yin and yang channel points here do the same thing. All of the yin and yang channel points do the same thing. All of them do the same thing. So at that point, I don't care what channel they're on. I care what zone they're in, because those zones affect qi more or less strongly, right? And therefore, it's completely based on what's convenient in this position. They're face up, they're face down, they're on their side. If I have a choice of access, then if I can line up a channel that happens to go through the area I'm getting to, or has a relationship with the organ, that's my last and least interesting choice of picking. But if I pick a gallbladder point on the gallbladder channel and in the meantime, there's a blockage here or something else is going on or they've got turmoil in their head, it doesn't do any good, in my opinion. In the way I work, I know that doesn't work. It may work for someone else with a different strategy, right? So the least influential, I don't want to use the word important, the least influential way to choose points for me is what's in the books based on a channel to an organ. I feel it's a great disservice that the West has renamed the channels by their organ names. So it's the stomach channel, it's the bladder channel, as opposed to the Yangming channel or the Shaoyang channel. Because most of the time when we're using channels to change qi, it's not about the organ. But if I change the qi flow, that organ will improve. But I can change qi flow on any of those antique points, yin or yang channel. So it's critical to be there. But then people are like, oh, is that spleen 6 for this? Or is that... It's so low. There's only one thing even lower on... That's one thing. I'm sure there's more. But there's only one thing lower on the pecking order, is once you've gotten to the point where actually choosing the point on the channel is helpful. Needle direction. With the channel or against the channel. I'm sorry, just line up 10 patients and tell me what I absolutely shouldn't do. And if I go against the channel, it'll make them worse. I'll go against the channel, make them better. Tonify them. I'll go with the channel, disperse them. There's so much more involved that for that to be an influence there's so many other things in the way of that being effective that it never gets a chance to make a difference. We can imagine it, and we can have 2 people who got better because I did that. I'm always thinking about the other 8. And how do I switch it? So I'm thinking about the 4 I failed, not the 6 I got better.